Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
It's half time on the Premier League. They've basically taken half the games and said, you get half, right? We've cancelled half. Which half? You probably tuned in today hoping that half got cancelled. Half did. MKT is not here. It is the takeover, the PTP takeover of the MKT show. And listen, I want to explain a concept. I got the all essential, always sexy Senzo with me, and he's going to explain a concept to you. If you think we talk about the long lunch, right? I want you to know there is a calendar. In your calendar, look at it. It's called December, right? In South Africa, we have something called December, right? I'm going to hand over to Senzo, because if you think long lunch was a thing, take a listen to this. Senzo, we got international viewers,
yes,
international listeners. Explain the concept of December.
So the Gregorian calendar has 12 months, and December being the 12th one. But in South Africa, we've got December, spelled D-E-Z-E-M-B-R, December. And that starts from the 1st of December and it goes up until the 3rd of January, December, right? So it's basically 31 Saturdays. And during these 31 Saturdays, anything goes. So your friend can call you at any time to say, listen, come to my house or we're coming to fetch you. And you must be prepared for anything. You may find yourself in Durban, you may find yourself, just traveling, whatever, but you must be ready to rock and roll all the time. You know, so when you shower as well, you shower with a beverage, your beverage of choice, so that you're always activated, that you're always in the game, you know what I mean? So wherever you go this December, you're just ready for chaos. And anything goes, guys, anything goes. Some relationships start in December, some end in December, but relationships that start in December, they generally tend to peter out 15th of January, and when you come back to your senses, when December expires. But it is December, and December, the height of December, the peak of it, you tend to see it around the 16th, 17th of December, and from the 16th to the 31st of December, nothing constructive happens. It's just fun central. Fun central. So if you thought the long lunch was a long lunch, December is 31 Saturdays, and right now we are on the 17th Saturday.
Peak. We're in peak.
We're in peak now, so people are coming in hot now. Hot.
I mean, not to make light of it, but of course everyone worldwide, they're going, well, we don't want this new variant to spread. Forget it. South Africa's lost that war. We've lost the battle. It's not going to happen. Everyone's being irresponsible. They're being foolish. It is the height of, or the, what do you call it? Maybe it's the depth of productivity.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens on the 17th of December. Oh, hold on. That's today's date.
Exactly.
This is the PTP takeover of the MKT show. We've got the Friday 5 athletes who retired unexpectedly. We've got Paula's Weird World of Football. We're going to be talking about the Premier League and the situation they find themselves in. Plus, for the first time on this TV format, we got the world's greatest game. I invented it. It's called Pogba versus Drogba. James used to be happy until I told him yesterday we're bringing it back. It is December. It is time to play. It is PTP on the MKT show. Gonna take a quick break. Come back with the Friday 5 just after this. December in South Africa is the ultimate form of the long lunch. Senzo was just telling me once his friends phoned him, said, hey, we're going for a drive. They ended up in Durban, which is 5 hours away, by the beach, having a lot of fun. And listen, you got to be careful, because sometimes that relationship that starts in December might have a little bit of a surprise for you in September, 9 months later. We've seen it. We've seen it happen. Get your affairs in order. Get some prophylactics.
Exactly.
It's a nice way of saying condoms.
Yeah, because hey,
is your mom really your mom unless she says condoms?
I've never had that conversation with my parents, but my mom goes through my drawers, and she started going through my drawers in varsity, and every time she's looking like for a lighter or matches or something, she knows where to find it. And she's never caught me, but I think she assumes she knows, like, come on, this guy.
She knows, she's seen you. Your mom has eyes. She sees how sexual, how handsome-ish you are. She knows what's happening. Let's not be foolish. We're all adults.
Yeah. But she's never outwardly said it and been like, she just assumes that, be careful. You know what the season's like and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this woman's onto me.
'Tis the season. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Yeah.
So
ho ho ho.
I'll leave that. It's too easy. It's way too easy. So, listen, I know the guy spoke yesterday about Sergio Kun Aguero. That's sad retirements. I just want to throw my hat into the ring. Listen, glad he retired. Took the option. Didn't end up something terrible happening to him. And the cool thing about it is, for some reason, Senzo, Aguero doesn't get the props for the goal scorer he was.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think it's just the eras the eras that he was playing football in. Because in Argentina, he was playing with this guy. I don't know if people have heard of him, Messi. So that kind of overshadowed him. And in the Premier League, like there were so many transcendent figures. But like he was the only guy that was like consistently like doing it. Thereabout. And it's weird. It's actually weird. Because now, I mean, Man City he has to get a statue there. They have to go.
Has to be. I mean, top 10 Premier League moments of all time. He won the league with the last kick of the last season. Minute. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What are you talking about? The Manchester United players are already like getting their Champions t-shirts out.
Yeah,
and Aguero made us cry. Good guy, and unfortunate that his career had to come to an end that way. But we are going to talk about it. Made me think about other athletes on today's Friday 5 who retired unexpectedly. And of course, when you talk unexpectedly, injury is a terrible way for an athlete to end.
Yeah, but rather that, retire like that, like Kunso is like, look, for me, there's nothing more I need to achieve still. I mean, he's pretty content. Like, he's had a great career. So he was probably like, he waited up. He's like, not really worth it. I mean, he did the right thing.
Such a sad way to go as well, because I mean, he obviously wanted to go to Barcelona, and the whole thing just turned messy for him.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he lands to play with his best friend, do you see what he did on Twitch when he gave out Messi's phone number?
No.
So Aguero streams on Twitch. He plays games, right?
Yeah.
He plays games on Twitch all the time. And during one conversation, he actually said, I'm going to call Messi, and calls Messi into his Twitch stream, but leaves Messi's phone number on the screen.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a friend with friends like that.
Oh, man.
And then, of course, he lands in Barcelona, and as soon as he gets there, Messi goes, and then it just ends very tragically for him. We would have obviously given maybe another season or two.
Yeah.
Still at the top, would have scored goals. Unfortunate end to it. I want to get into the Friday 5, and we've spoken about some of them before. We didn't get into it. James, you want to roll the Friday 5 music for us if you're ready? We're going to talk about 5 athletes who retired unexpectedly. First one here, Senzo was actually singing, the 12 Days of Cantona the other day. Eric Cantona retired so unexpectedly at the age of 30 years old. He was just coming into his peak, and a guy that could have scored goals for another 5 seasons because he wasn't blessed with pace.
Yeah.
It was all in the head.
I think he retired. He retired before Arsenal won the double, right? Yeah, he retired that season,
Yeah. So he retired at the end of the 1997 season. He was only with United for 5 seasons, right?
Yeah.
In that time, 82 goals in 5 years, 13 domestic cup competitions. Oh no, what am I? I'm lying here. Sorry. He scored, that was 13 goals in domestic cup competition, 64 goals for United, and 5 in the Champions League. it was such a pity that he retired when he did, because if he had hung around for a little bit, he could have been the Grand Master in that treble winning side. He wanted to actually retire after the Kung Fu Kick incident.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He was ready to go, but Ferguson spoke him out of it. He came back, played his best football after that, but still retiring unexpectedly, 30 years old. He could have given it another 5 years.
But my question is, like, okay, do you look, if you're Eric Cantona, do you look at your career and say, look, listen, I'm content with it, or do you think I could have had more?
I think Cantona did all the things. Woody wanted to have won a Champions League, maybe done some more for France, because, I mean, a year later, he wouldn't have been in the France team because there was trouble with him. They sort of like weren't happy. They blamed him for not qualifying for the 94 World Cup. That ended up quite ugly. I think Cantona would go out on his own terms. You know, remember after his retirement, he went into film, did some movies, did some acting. I don't think Cantona regrets a thing. He seems too philosophical for that. But we regret it, of course. United fans still sing. What's it, 12 Days of Cantona?
Yeah.
That's the song. 5 athletes who retired unexpectedly. Michael Jordan, the first time. It's the first time he retired after the first three-peat with the Chicago Bulls. October 6, 93. Announces his retirement because he had lost his desire to play basketball. Now, listen, you kind of want to do the reading. I'm not saying this is fact or not. This is the allegations that Michael Jordan got caught up in some betting scandals, that he was betting on games that he was involved in. Yeah. And the NBA said, listen, we can't have you go down like this. Take a break, get out of the limelight. Let's sort it out. I'm not saying that's true or not.
But that's the theory.
That's the stories, right?
But also had a lot to do with the way his dad died. Because remember
so
his dad
he says that. You want to tell a little bit about that story?
Well, his dad went missing for a bit. So he was supposed to go somewhere, and yeah, his dad just didn't come back. And a couple of days or weeks later, they found him in his trunk, I think, in his car, and he'd been shot. And yeah, and that kind of affected Michael, because Michael Jordan's best friend was his dad. He did everything with his dad. So
do you know, even what I found out just before this feature is that even sticking out his tongue, which is an iconic Michael Jordan thing, he got from watching his dad work. He said whenever his dad used to do woodwork or something like that, he'd stick out his tongue. And that's how he developed that habit. And yes, of course, his father was murdered in 1993, stopped at a rest stop. The guys said they didn't know who he was, but this only fueled the allegations about the gambling. Yeah. Right? And so it just became quite murky. Do the reading. Yeah. They say that this was a targeted hit because Michael Jordan owed some bad people money. I'm not saying it's true or not. I think what was really cool about watching The Last Dance for me was that I remember I was 13 years old at the time he retired, loved Michael Jordan, but you got very little NBA news. It was drip fed to you. So for the first time in watching The Last Dance, I was actually just able to see that whole Michael Jordan retirement story play out. So he obviously goes away, plays some baseball. I mean, come on.
Play some baseball.
He didn't play Major League. He didn't play Major League.
No. It was very minor league. But
very
like,
minor league.
You're not gonna give a guy like, regardless of what you're not gonna give a guy like a Major League Baseball contract, because they know how hard it is to make it in baseball. Like, it's very difficult. But also, with that being said, I mean, he also felt like it was right for him because he'd done what Magic and Bird hadn't been able to do by three-peating and going 3 in a row. And he was basically, he'd won the gold medal with the Dream Team. He was MVP. So he'd basically like, okay, cool, guys, I've done it. Like, cool. Like, I owe this game nothing. And then, yeah.
So he steps out, goes and plays baseball. The reason he came back to the NBA, allegedly, was that there was a Major League Baseball strike and he felt that he's not going to get a chance to play. Anyway, why sit out a strike? Comes back to Chicago Bulls, three-peats again.
So, but like, my thing is that, like, guys, if Jordan didn't retire, I mean, he would have, I think he would have won 8 in a row.
Good call.
I think because when he disappeared, I mean, the Rockets won 2 back-to-back, and then he came back wearing 45, and he was like, it doesn't really quite feel right.
Then he just popped up in 23, Chicago Bulls got fined.
Yeah, it was like, it was crazy though.
Hey, I'm Michael Jordan. Listen, go do the reading about the allegations, why he retired the first time. But hey, listen, if something like that happens to your father, you can't blame the guy. I don't want to believe the scandal, but the stories are out there. Inspired by Kun Aguero, athletes who retired before we expected them to. We're gonna go back to the 80s, right? Okay, I wanted as a prop to go get. We got this terrible wooden tennis racket over there. You got to remember, this is what these guys were playing with. A guy called Bjorn Borg. Now listen, the Swedish invasion was in full effect worldwide. ABBA were all over the charts. Bjorn Borg was dominating tennis. A teenage wunderkind. Former number one between 1974 and 1981, he became the first man in the Open era to win 11 Grand Slam singles titles.
Yeah.
6 French Opens and 5 consecutive Wimbledons. Do me a favor with this guy.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
He was true crossover. He was true crossover. You know, I'm actually going to grab this racket. I want to show you guys. This is what these guys were playing with. Look at this. Look at this. This is what Bjorn Borg was playing with.
But my thing is that
in the 80s.
But my thing is that Bjorn Borg used to go from clay, which is a totally different game, and go do it again on grass at Wimbledon, which is ridiculous. They say he used to like lock himself up for like 3 weeks and just like coach himself, and then he'd come back at Wimbledon and say, "How did like 5 more of these?"
And he was an absolute crossover. He had film star good looks, long blonde flowing hair.
He was cool.
Remember his sweatbands?
Yeah, Fido ones.
Oh,
yeah, he was.
Everything about Bjorn Borg was so cool. Playing with this tennis racket, 5 consecutive Wimbledons. He retired 23 years old. 23 years old. Mental burnout. Tennis is no longer fun. Think about that. We still put Bjorn Borg up there.
He is
as
still up there.
A Hall of Famer. He stopped playing at 23 years old.
My thing is that how many Grand Slams would he have won then?
Well, at this age, he had played 16 finals, won 11. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
The potential of what could have been with Bjorn Borg, we still put him down as a Hall of Famer. That is a career.
But like for me, I don't think he regrets anything as well. 11 Grand Slams, like.
No ways.
That puts you like in the air of like Sampras and like the upper echelon of those guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if you've won 11, there's only 4 men that have won more than, or 4, sorry. Only Sampras has won more Grand Slams than you, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic.
And they going on into their 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
They got an extra 10 or so years on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Bjorn Borg with another 10 years old would have set records no one would have touched, even in this day and age.
Yeah.
Even in this day and age. And you know what's the cool thing about watching athletes from that era? Is that we go, well, it was a different time. Look at the racket he was playing with. There was different nutrition. Maybe he was just had a better training regime than everyone else.
Nah.
You could see Bjorn Borg, and that's the elite athletes.
Yeah.
Eusebio, Pele. You watch those guys then, and you see their prototypes now.
But also the thing is, Bjorn Borg wasn't playing against like people who were totally useless. I mean, John McEnroe was there.
Kinda.
And ask John McEnroe that how many sleepless nights he had over Bjorn Borg.
They had so many rivalries. The rivalry between those two is legendary.
It was ridiculous.
Completely different personalities. One ice cold, one
a firecracker.
He's gonna hit you.
Yeah, he is a firecracker.
That was a great rivalry.
Yeah.
23 years old, Bjorn Borg packing it in. That's the biggest one on my list. I went, wow, that's amazing. Athletes who retired before. Listen, Magic Johnson, his retirement was for very different reasons. 31 years old, comes out 1991, retires from basketball at his peak. At his peak, because he had found out he has HIV positive. Now, you got to remember in the 90s, right? In 1991, I think later in that year is quite right, Freddie Mercury was probably one of the most high-profile people, was the first person to come out and say he was sick with HIV/AIDS, and not long after that passed away. Now, with Freddie Mercury, it fills the stereotype. HIV/AIDS was a very ugly thing to talk about. There were a lot of discrimination. It was a disease that was only assigned to certain people. So for Freddie Mercury to come out and say, yes, I have it, it reaffirmed the stereotype because of allegations about his lifestyle and all the rest of it. Magic Johnson was Mr. Otis.
He was Mr. America.
$1 Million Smile.
Mr. Hollywood, I mean, the Lakers, though. I mean,
totally.
Yeah.
Lakers in the 80s.
Lakers, Showtime Lakers, come on.
You know what I'm talking about. So Magic Johnson comes out, and it broke down everyone's stereotypes because they go, whoa, hold on a second. This guy's married. He has kids.
He's an alpha male.
America, alpha male. If he has it, what are we talking about?
Sure.
It's got to force me to face and change my perceptions. He's put down as one of the people that completely changed stigma around HIV/AIDS. He does admit, and he came out and said, he was sexually promiscuous. He would sometimes have harems of women.
Yeah, because I mean, he is married, and he got married like very young, and I mean, but it just reaffirms, because if you were playing for the Lakers in the 80s and you are like the star of the Lakers, I mean, you hang out with movie stars and like
Jack Nicholson.
Eddie
on.
Murphy, all those oaks, bro. But like you hang out with like, you are in that conversation. Like you have people who worship other people watching your games sitting courtside. And the parties that you must get into. Like I watched you must watch his documentary.
No.
He talks about like the height of fame and he's just like, guys, you have to be some other strong-willed person to be able to handle that.
There is a TV show coming out, a series coming out based on Showtime Lakers in the late 70s, early 80s, coming out early next year about that period. We'll get the name and tell you about it. So 1991, he retires. 1992, he still gets put in the All-Star team. Even though he stopped playing, he gets put in the All-Star team. But the most high-profile player, Karl Malone, and there was beef between the two of them. This carried on. I'll get into the Olympics. They would not play. They said, we refuse to play if he plays because we don't want to risk contamination if he suffers an open wound at court. Of course, it's early days. No one really knows the science. And that beef stayed with them up until the Dream Team. Yeah. Because Magic Johnson, despite being retired, gets taken to Barcelona.
And I don't think Karl Malone was in the team.
There was major beef between them. Karl Malone was in it.
He was.
He was in it. Major beef, of course, was split in two camps. Michael Jordan's guys and Magic Johnson's guys versus Karl Malone guys. Never really accepted it, and that beef carried on. Not Karl Malone, Magic Johnson was in the NBA All-Star team. Didn't play too much because of a knee injury. Right? I remember there's quite a bit of controversy. Other players wondering what would happen should there be an injury on open wound or sweat or something. Say people didn't know. But he received standing ovations from every crowd that he played in front of, and it is put down as one of the key moments when people went, hey, maybe we need to think differently about HIV and AIDS. So lose a great athlete, but even to this day, I think it's really broken down the stigma. He's still strong, going.
Yeah, bro, looking healthy, and he's lived 30 years with HIV, and he's, man.
Yeah, so that's an athlete. And listen, this one is a little bit self-indulgent. I gotta tell you. We mentioned it, Senzo laughs. He knows what I'm talking about. In the early days of Google search, her name was the most common search string on Google, right? Now, today, everything's on Google. You gotta remember, these are the early days. What would a young boy fire up his Google search engine? James is in the control room nodding. Anna Kournikova.
Yeah.
Spelt wrong a lot of times.
Yeah.
But she was absolutely, we think Bjorn Borg was crossover. Anna Kournikova was total crossover. Listen, some people criticize, say, hey, if it wasn't for the way she looked, would we even recognize her? She didn't have the success as a singles, but as a double, she played with Martina Hingis.
Well, Martina Hingis is also something else, but yeah.
They won Grand Slam titles in 99, 2002, and the championship in 99 and 2000. They were very powerful as a team. But the pity about Anna Kournikova is she retired. She's actually slowed down her career at 21. She broke through at 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
She slowed down her career at 21, eventually retiring at 22, 23 years of age. And you got to go, what potential could she have had, right? If she had harnessed that.
But besides potential, I'm thinking like about earning capability, because now,
I think she earned the money.
Well, yeah, I think she could have earned more, because, now we're very looks driven society, and her height just came just before the internet like boomed properly, so. Yeah, man. But
she wasn't early. She remains a superstar, but I think there was a loss of a great tennis talent.
Yeah.
And of course, you attracted to her. She looks great. She looks fantastic.
A marketer's dream.
Dream. But I do think that there was some tennis potential that she could probably have tapped into her mid-20s, and who knows where she would have ended up. But listen, she married Enrique Iglesias, and I gotta say, it's been confirmed by a couple of people. Enrique Iglesias, Anna Kournikova is your wife, Julio Iglesias is your father.
Come on, man.
You got $1 billion in the bank, you got 1 billion gold records, but the guy wears a wig or a hairpiece.
Come on.
It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed. You know why I know this? Because in public he always wears a cap. If you see him on videos, he's got hair. In public, on concert, he wears a cap. I know, as a bald guy when you're trying to hide. I know.
It's a famous trick.
I know, and it's been confirmed to me that whether it's a hairpiece, a wig, a toupee, something is not right up there. But do you think Enrique Iglesias cares what I say about him? So that is my Friday 5. 5 athletes that I feel retired too soon. Eric Cantona, God.
Yeah.
King Eric.
Yeah. But I don't, with King Eric, it's like with Bjorn Borg and also Michael Jordan. Like, I don't think they like we knew, okay, they've paid their dues. They've given us like all they can, and yeah, I don't think they sit there and say, oh, geez, I could have won more. I could have.
Imagine Michael Jordan never came back. Imagine after that 3-peat he called that never came back, because now, you know, we're talking about who's the greatest basketball player ever, right? And it still stands between Jordan and LeBron.
It's there,
hey,
right?
how's Steph Curry breaking the 3-point
Yeah,
record?
yeah.
God, I don't think that guy gets enough props for
No,
how
it
hard
doesn't.
that is.
It doesn't. But the thing is with Steph Curry, it's just that, oh no, he's played in one system his whole life. Guys, Steph Curry has changed the way that basketball is being played today.
100%.
But also, I look, the LeBron, people who LeBron stand, look, I'm a Kobe guy, but we all know who the king is. We all, guys, it's hands down. Even now, you look at it and you're just like, this guy is just, like, Michael Jordan figured out how to, like, he's next level. He's done everything you can possibly do in basketball. Like, you can't, like, for me, it's not even close.
I always look at it and go, how do you compete? Because you can't compete sports through eras. I mean, look at this. If Federer had to play with this, would he do it?
We don't know. We can't answer
We
that
look
for
at
sure.
Formula One. Let's look at Formula One,
Yeah.
right? Is Hamilton a good driver, or he just has a great car? Well, we don't know. Would
Yeah.
lesser drivers in that car in another era? Who knows, right? But what I always like to take is you go, let's look at someone from a bygone era, previous era. Could you put them on a court, on a field, in a car today, and they look like everyone else? 100%.
Yeah.
So sometimes you look at footballers from the 80s. Jan Molby, he's not playing today. You know what I'm saying? But you take Eusebio. Eusebio plays today. You
Yeah.
take Michael Jordan, put him on any court today.
Yeah, at his prime, he's killing most
He looks
guys.
the same.
Yeah,
He still does it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you transcend.
Yeah,
Right?
you're right.
So we've got Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Anna Kournikova, Eric Cantona, Bjorn Borg. Anyone you think I've missed off there?
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
I was tempted on Marco van Basten.
Oh, there. Didn't he retire when he was like 29?
But then you got to go, well, all of these I've tried to not go injury, right? So only
Yeah.
Anna Kournikova really retired because of injury, where all the others, Cantona just had enough, Bjorn Borg had enough, Michael Jordan, there were different reasons, and Magic Johnson was for an illness, right? So I'm trying to stay away from injury. But Marco van Basten, the argument goes, but he was 29 by then. He had one stuff with AC Milan, one stuff with Holland, set goal scoring records. Is he really before his time? It's just unfortunate end.
But 29, guys. 29 is...
Would he have scored more goals in his 30s?
That's the thing. You can never really know. You can never really answer that because, like, it's... Yeah. Because my argument is also, like, it comes down to this thing with Michael Owen. Because if Michael Owen gets that injury that he gets in Van Basten's era, I don't think you would have seen Michael Owen play again. But luckily,
Sure.
medicine and everything...
Same as Alan Shearer.
Yeah, exactly. Medicine and everything involved. So...
Well, looking through the lists, I came across Michael Phelps. He also retired quite early.
Yeah, but he had done everything. Like, I mean, what for me, you're right, because he had also just had enough. I mean, you win 8 gold medals in one Olympic Games. What more can you prove?
Right.
What more can you prove? They're like, yeah, he was out smoking weed. I was like, guys, how many gold medals have you won for your country?
That's what I'm saying.
At 23, you did it at 23. It's like, look, guys, I've had enough.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And do you think that's the thing? You reach such a level. And that's why I think players like, and we can go through any sport, Federer, Messi, Ronaldo, that you go, you've achieved everything, but you want more. And you push yourself to more. And I think that's what's so admirable about these guys.
Yeah.
That's why when people do say they are the GOATs,
Yeah.
because they've done everything and they want more of it.
Yeah, because my thing is, like, Graham Smith said it nicely, or he said it nicely. He said he didn't know he was going to retire. They said, why did you retire? He said, I just woke up the one day and I just didn't feel like playing anymore. He's like, yeah, I'm done. Like, what else am I going to achieve? And that's the main thing about it. Like, how do you get up every day once you've achieved it all and say, listen, I still want more?
Yeah.
Like, that's something else. Like, and yeah, I don't know how guys do it.
That's got to be the sign of greatness.
Yeah.
If your body's still willing, but the mind lets you down, you're not going to do it. But when that mind says, hey, we're going to keep going, we're going to work together to go forward, that makes a great athlete. That was the Friday 5 athletes inspired by Kun Aguero that probably left the game way too early. Bjorn Borg, 23 years old.
She was.
Do me a favor, guy.
Like that.
Do me a favor.
I don't know. Bjorn Borg, I think sometimes he regrets it. But also, I mean, you've won 11 Grand Slams. Like, you're like, okay, cool. I've shown you guys.
And tennis players never really retire. They just play less competitive tennis.
Yes.
There's a circuit.
Yeah.
They go on the circuit. They go around. They play veterans. Bjorn Borg, I think he's okay. I think he's okay with his decision. This is the PTP takeover, the MKT show. It is December, right? Look it up.
The 17th Saturday.
Senzo even spelled it with an R. You can just leave it with the A. Leave it with an A in the end.
Yeah.
It is a month-long version of the long lunch. But maybe you're just doing a long lunch today.
Every day is a Saturday.
Every day is a Saturday, Sunday, even Mondays or Saturdays, Tuesdays or Sundays. Who knows what we're talking about? Listen, we're having a bit of fun. It's not too structured. We're going to be talking some Premier League. We've got Paulo's Weird World of Football and a game called Pogba versus Drogba. James is worrying. James is very worried. Look at him. He thinks he's got it. He thinks he's got it. But we don't know what's coming up next. We're just making it up as we go along. We'll go to a break. Try to do some work. Get the sanitizers off the table. We left that in the shot. That's how much fun we're having. Even us.
Hi, but
Long
we're still
lunch.
staying safe.
December. There's postponements all over the place. We weren't postponed. We kept it going.
Who could have been?
we could have been. Who knows what's going on? Of course, an absolute mess going on in the Premier League. COVID cancellations all over the place. Senzo was saying in the break there, it's going to be an absolute mess getting these games back in. Manchester United already 2 down.
Yeah.
Right, that we got to make up. The only games going ahead this weekend so far, Villa, Burnley, Leeds and Arsenal, City, Newcastle, City, Wolves, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool. But of course, Tottenham, they're in a whole mess on their own.
Yeah.
Have they effectively buyed the Europa Conference? Because they need to make up their game against Rennes,
yeah.
by the end of December. Where are they going to do it?
It's not going to happen because like end of December, yeah, because they still have to make up 2 Premier League fixtures as well. And the fixtures are coming in thick and fast now. And also FA Cup starts in January.
Yeah.
So it's a mess.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess with the schedule. James wants to chime in on there.
He does. So I was speaking to my stepdad the other night actually about this, because he supports Tottenham, and we were saying how hard could it be to reschedule a fixture? Like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of logistics that go into it, but apparently the story with that whole thing goes that neither one of the clubs had has made a plan yet to reschedule that fixture. But
this is for the Conference League, right?
Yeah. So I was saying to him, how hard could it be? Like, someone at Tottenham picks up a phone, right, and says, hey, so we've got that game we've got to play. When's your next available day to do a match day where you have 2 rest days in between? Cool. That day, are we doing your stadium or ours? Oh, ours? Sick. We'll see you there on the 26th of December. Game sorted. Like, what?
Hold on.
James to run UEFA. Okay. I've heard crazy ideas.
Hold on, but like the thing is as well, you forget like the whole world's kind of sick right now, right? And there's this thing of like quarantining and all of that. And now there's also this thing of where some leagues take a break in those 2 weeks. So it's all of that.
Look, I would be the cynical bastard to say I haven't checked out the tables of that Conference League, but I'm willing to bet it's not really in Ron's favor to make it easy for Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't actually have the tables in front of me, and listen, I'm going to try to get it, but the Conference League has got like, I think they go to Group Z.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Group H, let's see where Tottenham are. So Rennes are top of their... It's Rennes, sorry.
It's Rennes, yeah.
Rennes are top of their league. That league on 11 points. They pretty much guaranteed, I think, if Tottenham win that game, they will jump to 10 points, taking out Vitesse. So Rennes are pretty much through. I don't think anything is in... Rennes have to make it easy for Tottenham.
Yeah, they have to, yeah, because...
Why must they? Why must they make it easy for Tottenham?
No, they don't have to, but like the ball's in their court. They've got all the power here because Tottenham need it more than Rennes do.
Do Tottenham? I think Tottenham, if I'm Tottenham, I'll go, you know what, take it out. Forget it.
Yeah, because
Tottenham
also
should not be in this.
Yeah, also this conference doesn't help their season at all. It just prolongs, like, you know what I mean. So if you win conference, do you get Europa automatically?
I don't even know how that works. Look, my take on the Europa Conference League is I think it's a great competition for the right reasons, right? It's going to give small teams from lesser leagues a chance to play competitive, continual European football against teams of your league. Why is Tottenham in there? Why is Roma in there? Because they need TV money, right?
Yeah.
If you have a Premier League team in there, you guarantee some TV money. Why? I don't think it's Tottenham's fault. Why put a Premier League team in this competition?
Yeah.
It defeats the point.
I get you.
It totally defeats the point.
Also, do they really need this money? Like, what's this money going to do for them in the long run?
It's worthless for Tottenham. It's absolutely worthless. You got Conte in there who needs to spend time with his team, but he can't.
Yeah.
You know?
He can't.
He can't. And now you've got to try and make up fixtures for a tournament you don't really want to be in. I think Tottenham take the bye. I think they take the bye. I think they totally forfeit. Take it out. They're third in the league anyway. Right? They're third in their table. Vitesse and Rennes sitting on top. Rennes already through.
Yeah.
Just leave it out. Just call it.
And also now you see this busy period that you have in England and stuff, because also it doesn't get easier in January because now the FA Cup is thrown in the mix. So now you're like, okay, cool, now we're playing all the time now. Like, you're right, it doesn't really help them.
Well, it comes to head. James, I want to throw over to you. Did you see what Jurgen Klopp was saying about players taking COVID vaccines?
No.
Okay, so he's very pro-vax, and he very much believes players should be vaccinated. And I think I'm not going to get into a conversation about what's right and wrong on vaccinations. That's for everyone's choice to make. But I was quite shocked to see a stat came out yesterday. 59% of Premier League footballers are double vaccinated. 25% have had a single vaccination. And then the remaining percentage say they're not sure and they probably won't. Right? We've been speaking about Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
So the Premier League and no sports league, to my knowledge so far, that said every player needs to be vaccinated.
No one's mandated it yet.
Right? We know some employees are doing it,
Sure.
some big businesses, some countries are starting to say if you're not vaccinated, you lose access to certain places. With this happening, right, at what point do they make vaccinations mandatory for Premier League footballers? We've lost half the fixtures. Tottenham, Liverpool are going to go. And at this point, we don't know who else is going to go in this, right? Which other fixture is going to drop?
I think you'll see it when it comes down to, especially when it's like the big teams. When the bigger teams are starting to not play fixtures because of that, and they've got a backlog. So guys that have to play like Champions League and stuff. When they start missing fixtures because people aren't vaccinated, that's when the Premier League is going to step down and say, listen here, guys.
But isn't the only reason why there are no vaccine mandates yet anywhere more of like a human rights thing?
Yeah, it is a human rights thing.
Well, so let's go this way. France, right, are saying no access to certain places if you're unvaccinated. I think Germany's doing something similar.
Germany as well, yeah.
Right? So why doesn't this account for Premier League footballers? So if French players, so say for example, and it's the same thing happening in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
With Kyrie Irving, that's all situation. If you're a player in France and one of the places you're not allowed into is a stadium, right? If you're not vaccinated,
What makes it hard to do your job?
surely the players can't enter.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's like, so the whole situation with Kyrie Irving is that it's New York law that
that's it.
if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go to certain places, and one of the places you can't go is to work. So
Or stadiums.
Or
You
stadium,
can't go into stadiums.
You can't go to stadium. So, and Kyrie Irving works in a stadium. So it's like, okay, you can't go to your own job.
So the loophole is he can go into... So here's the loophole, right? He can go into training.
Yeah, he can train.
Because that's his place of work, and his place of work doesn't have a mandate. But public sports arenas, you need a double vaccine to enter. So he can't go play games, yet he can practice.
In his own state, yeah.
In his own state. Here's the thing with the Premier League, right? So we're going to lose... Listen, let's call it. Liverpool, Tottenham's not happening. Okay? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We know this, right?
Yeah.
This is an issue of health. And as a sportsman, surely it says in your contract, you need to do everything possible
to remain healthy,
to be at optimum health all time.
Sure.
Right? Whether it's new or old, or having a malaria shot, or going to AFCON and taking all your injections.
But yeah,
surely...
With that being said, it's also, Duno finds himself in a similar situation. Novak Djokovic with Australian Open, because the Australian sports prime minister says, no, it's sure, you can come here and go, you don't have to quarantine. But the mayor of Victoria, where Melbourne is saying, no, bro, you want to play, get a vaccine. So it's weird for him.
So, take Manchester United players, because Manchester United apparently is notoriously... Very few of the players in the Manchester United squad are vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right? That's why it took...
Guys. Good job.
No, well...
Nice.
Listen, we don't have Jurgen Klopp thirst trapping and making players get vaccinated. Right?
Yeah.
We're a mess. Listen, Manchester United can't organise a piss up in a brewery at this point. Yeah. So to get players vaccinated, that's two times you got to come in. Forget about it.
Imagine trying to convince Paul Pogba that he needs a vaccination.
But he's French, so he has to.
And he's a virus on his own. So, I mean, I think he's got his own problems. He's in Dubai. He's not... Paul Pogba's an ex-Manchester United player. Worrying about Paul Pogba's like worrying about Michael Silvestre.
Yeah.
Okay? They're ex-players.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about them, right?
These vibes. He went where it's hotter.
So, take this, right? And we spoke about it a little bit with Kyrie Irving. Manchester United squad don't get vaccinated, right? Or let's take the 16% broadly across.
Okay.
So you've got a squad of X many, 6 or 7 in your squad aren't vaccinated. Now they take everyone else who's not vaccinated, whatever. It affects the whole squad. You're now sitting as a Manchester United player. For 2 weeks you don't play, but you collect your salary. 2 weeks you don't train, but you collect your salary. Through a choice you made.
Sure.
You've made a choice. So surely some point it's going to be, okay, fair enough. If you're not going to get vaccinated, here are the criteria. You need to... we saw it locally in South Africa. There's this, a chain store called Dis-Chem, who are a big pharmaceutical... a big pharmacy.
Yeah.
And they've mandated that their staff need to be vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
They say, you don't have to. Okay, we've checked all the laws. We can enforce this. If you're not vaccinated, you need to come every Monday, you need to have a test. You need to show us at your own expense. If you cannot show it, you can't work.
Yeah.
If you are sick and you've chosen not to take a vaccine, we will not pay you sick leave, right?
Which is fair, I think.
I think that's completely fair. And their point is we're frontline. Right? We're in the medical field.
Sure.
We need to be responsible. Football clubs owe a service to the community. Yes. Right? So surely the players go, if you don't want to get vaccinated, here's this. Right? If you get sick, we freeze your wages. If that causes matches to be postponed, we give you a fine. You're not allowed here, you're not allowed doing this, whatever. It can't be, because now it's affecting the league. They don't make this up. And don't forget, the league's under pressure this year because it's compacted because of the World Cup next year.
Yes.
So there's a certain date it needs to finish now because there's a certain date it needs to start so they can have the World Cup.
Yeah.
So this is a mess.
So do you think you put players on a pay-as-you-play?
Why not? Because you, as a sportsman, take all the players going to AFCON, right? We all know when you travel around Africa, you need certain shots, certain inoculations and certain boosters, right? And you need to show that.
Yeah.
Why can't you do the same here? It is your service to your club that you need to do everything possible to remain healthy all the time.
They're your employee at the end of the day.
Right?
You can't, because if you do anything outside of your contract, that means you're in breach. And if you're in breach, they can say, well, you're not. Cheers, bro.
That's the thing. And you're playing a dangerous game here because we know footballers aren't allowed jet skiing or bungee jumping or snowboarding, right? This is just as dangerous, right? So it should be included. You owe this football club injury's a risk. We all understand in the course of playing football, you get injured, it happens.
Yeah.
You fall down the stairs at home, it happens. It wasn't a concerted thing.
Yeah, you didn't make a considered effort. Oh, I'm going to fall down the stairs at home. Yeah, it happened.
Right?
Yeah.
You go snowboarding and you break your leg.
Well, you knew what was going. You knew what dangers involved.
Right. You don't take a vaccine and you get sick. You take that choice. It's your choice.
Because you're right. Because you know there's a pandemic. You know that every time you leave your house or your bubble, you risk getting an infection. Which is, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
So listen, I mean, this is not to get into a vax, don't vax sort of thing. We're talking very much in the context of sports, right? If you or me, we have our own choices. Anyone listening, everyone's got their own choice, right? But if you are a sportsman, you, for that amount of money, when they put £400,000
at you every week,
you owe the club, the fans, the league, the country, you owe something for that.
Yeah.
Now the argument goes, but are players pawns? Should we mandate this? There's things bigger than you when you're a footballer, I believe.
And you're earning those astronomical amounts of money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. No, I get you.
It's an absolutely crazy situation that's unfolding here. Listen, the Premier League, they're not angels in this, because most leagues have a protocol that they go, if you have X amount of players, the fixture goes ahead. It's in black and white. It needs to happen, right? We saw the mess in the Portuguese league the other day. Portuguese league went from, if you have a squad of 13, down to if you have 8 players, the game happens. And leagues across Europe have similar, right? I don't know if the PSL has it, because the PSL's a whole goddamn mess on its own.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to get into that. But the Premier League's taking it case by case. Now, that's a mess.
Yeah, if you take it case by case, then it's like, okay, some rules apply to some people, some don't apply to others, which is, you're right. And I just think now it comes down to how deep your pockets are.
That's it.
And how much you make for because the Premier League were never going to say no to Man United postponing a game. They'll be like, I mean, you're probably our biggest earners. So, like, we're not going to tell you guys no. You know
and hey, by the way, now we get 2 extra games in an off week when we didn't expect. So the money rolls in for us. The viewership rolls in.
Yeah.
That's 2 extra games we can get advertising. So they're never going to say no. What about the fans here, right? This Tottenham-Liverpool game it's not happening. Let's be honest, it's not happening, right?
Let's stop kidding ourselves, yeah.
But you as a fan, you're a Liverpool fan, and you want to go to every game. Now you're sitting today. You go, I need to make my way up on Sunday. Okay, Liverpool to Tottenham's not the hardest trip.
Commute, yeah.
But during COVID, it's Christmas week. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
Snowing, what happens? That game gets called off in the morning. Who's out of pocket? Me. Because
you've lost.
I've lost.
You've lost. Yeah.
I've lost. There were Manchester United fans complaining the Brentford game got called off on the morning.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're on our way. We're on our way there. We've spent the money. Who reimburses us? You know?
Yeah. But in that case, who's the onus on to reimburse?
I think I've seen Manchester United will take it on and they will reimburse the fans that did start making the move.
Sure.
But it creates a mess. This Premier League, once again, the Premier League looks at one thing first. Bottom line. Money. Bottom line. How can we make money out of this?
But I mean, they're a business at the end of the day. That's what you're going to look at it if you're a business. I don't blame them. You're a business at the end of the day. We're trying to stay afloat.
Well, I mean, we're not them. We're trying to make more.
More, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. The whole the whole point of a business is to remain profitable.
No.
And if you're not thinking about profit, then why are you in business? Why in the business? Go run an NGO. You know what I mean?
Because the Premier League said no circuit breaker. We're not postponing. We're not taking 5 days off. We're not doing anything. There's no project restart. We're just going to up our protocols and we're going to take it as it comes. You're playing with fire, guys.
Yeah.
You're playing with fire.
And now, because do you know it becomes tricky now when it becomes like a thing of the law. So like you saw it happened with the Ashes. There is no 5th test in Perth because Perth said, listen here, we don't want people here. We don't want anything. So what happens then? When it becomes a thing of it becomes a political issue now. What happens then?
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I think just in the broader context, you have to look at what's happening in UK, in government.
Yeah. It's a mess there.
Boris isn't exactly covering himself in glory in the whole thing. So I think, listen, I think the UK, specifically England, is a case study in how not to control a pandemic. But this Premier League story, once again, it comes down to, as it's always been, whether it's a Super League, whether it's fixtures, whether it's pricing out, it's the fans.
So do you say this if you're the Premier League? These games have to go on, but empty stadiums, because they've started doing it in Germany.
So And talk about the Germany thing, because I think it's interesting what you're saying.
Yeah, because in Germany, like, see, the cases are going up, like, they're getting like 35,000 new cases every day. And like Germany were like, United, listen, we don't care, no fans.
Wasn't the Bayern and Borussia Dortmund was played in front of empty stadium?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Because even in Champions League, like visiting teams, like no fans. No fans. And like, I don't know, because I don't think clubs can really, I don't think it's feasible for clubs to have no fans because, you know,
because of course Bayern Munich can handle it.
Yeah, Bayern Munich can handle it.
They can absorb
but
it.
not everybody's Bayern Munich, that's the thing.
And I wonder if there's a thought there. Listen, let me tell you what gets up my nose. As I scratched my nose there. It literally went up as I said that, right? So you're quite right. In Germany, and they've gone region by region.
Yeah.
So they're not going, it's not a blanket rule.
Yeah.
They're going, each sort of like region's going to make their own choice based on where they are.
Yeah.
And a lot of them decided to go back behind closed doors. I think France are going to do the same.
Yeah.
I think France are going to start doing the same. What got up my nose the past 2 weeks, now obviously in South Africa, we've had a situation that this new variant was first discovered in South Africa. South African scientists put it out to the world, and then suddenly South Africa's blocked off.
Yeah.
It's not, we didn't create it, we just discovered it and released the news.
Next time, keep your mouth shut.
Next time, keep your mouth shut. So South Africa goes, you're not allowed anywhere, right?
Yeah.
No UK, whatever. It's been getting up my nose for 2 weeks, looking at Premier League stadiums, full.
And people are wearing masks.
And we're the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense for that, right? But that's what the Premier League do. They got full stadiums. There's full stadiums all the time. That's money. That's a great TV product. No one wants to go back to watching empty stadiums.
Yeah,
Right? But at the risk of what? It's too late now. You can't put the genie back in. It's gone. This is 100% gone.
It's crazy though. But like even here in South Africa, when was the last time we were allowed to go to a stadium? Like now, there's a sports fixture, you're just like, okay, cool, whatever. You know what I mean?
Listen, South Africa's unfortunately one of those leagues that playing behind closed doors makes zero difference. Especially when some matches are played at 2:00 on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. So just to give some stories in South Africa, is that are Kaizer Chiefs playing again? Are they picking up their fixtures?
I think they are, but I know Sundowns and Pirates are going on tomorrow, which I don't think is, like for me, okay, Sundowns and Pirates, they can afford to play behind empty stadiums, but like you think about teams like Baraka and stuff, and you're just like, this makes no sense for these guys because now who fits the bill and all that.
Look, I think most of them, the South African League is 100% sponsored and funded by the TV money.
Yeah.
I mean, most of those stadiums are rented out for the match.
Exactly.
And I think that, South African soccer funds
Yeah,
out of
and
TV.
some teams don't necessarily have like a home stadium. They
just move depending who they're playing.
Yeah,
If it's a
exactly.
small team, they play at Municipal. If it's a big team, they hire one of the big stadiums. So I think they adjusted. And I think the big story was Cape Town City were due to play Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs had put to the league that we've got too many COVID cases, we can't play. Again, the league doesn't really have a hard and fast rule. No. Cape Town City come all the way up here, arrive at the stadium, and they're locked out.
Yeah.
And they go, well, we're doing... And both teams did what they had to do because nobody wants to lose the points.
Yeah.
But the league's sitting in the middle, well, we don't have a decision.
There's no mandate, yeah.
We don't have a decision. Then last week, I think we saw with the with Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
The club owner not led into the stadium... and fighting with the security.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Okay, I mean, South African soccer is a movie, but it just goes back to going, the first time everyone was caught with their pants down, anywhere in COVID.
Yeah.
We
didn't know how to handle it.
We didn't know.
No, we didn't know.
We stopped selling hot chicken. We stopped selling flip-flops. Like,
you couldn't go for a haircut,
I mean, nobody knew what to do.
Yeah.
Right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These leagues, the Premier League, did not go, what if this happens again? What do we do?
Exactly.
Right?
What procedures and steps do we have to make sure that, okay, cool, we try minimize the impact of this in the broader scheme of things? I don't know.
And
so
you're going to see what I think you're protecting. Sorry, let me finish your point there.
So what would you do if you were the league? Would you say, okay, guys, this is what's going to happen? Do you take it out of the club's hands and you say, this is what's going to happen? Or what do you do?
So, the Premier League are so frightened of the clubs. They are petrified of the big six.
Yeah.
Right? Even though the voting block sits with the other 14. If those other 14 unite, those big six can sing all they want.
Yeah.
But they're so petrified of the big six. I know the Premier League historically doesn't care much for what happens below the Premier League. It's the Premier League's the Premier League, and they must run the Premier League.
Yeah.
Fine, it's a different league. But where the Premier League clubs, listen, whether the stadium's full or not, it's 2 weeks' wages for somebody. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I think the knock-on effect goes, if the Premier League goes back behind doors, Championship goes, League 1, 2, 3, and they all go, and they can't afford it.
Yes.
They go to the wall.
Yeah.
Especially now with lots of matches, lots of revenue, lots of goodwill. Now suddenly the Premier League starts going behind closed doors. Everyone has to, because now that's a mandate.
Yeah, that's a mandate.
And then you're ending up with these clubs go, hold on, we're just kind of figuring out, we've readjusted,
Yeah.
and now we don't have fans in the stadium. We
Now
don't
have
have
to
the TV.
furlough people now.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the whole thing goes a mess. It just goes, this is not the first time.
Exactly.
And it won't be the last time. It'll keep rolling like this. You've got to have a better plan.
Yeah.
That's on you. I think there's a whole bunch of things here. I think as a footballer, it needs to be in your contract that you need to do the best in your own personal capacity to make sure that you're always in optimum health.
Yeah. Which goes without saying, yeah.
You know, you're a player taking steroids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't do that. It's
Yeah.
against your contract.
Yeah, also you can die.
You know what I'm saying? And in this situation, you can as well. But why? Because I'm fit. I'm an elite athlete, 25 years old, 3% body fat. It's not going to happen to me. The knock-on effect is ridiculous. I think it's on the league to not have a set of rules. I think it's on the government, and we look at the UK government and around the world. This is not the UK. So it's just a mess that keeps on rolling. And we're looking at Premier League. Hey, listen, I mean, not to make light of it, but if you're playing Fantasy League this week, play your free hit.
Oh, yes, I have to do that. Oh, my goodness.
Do you even bother doing it? James resonated with that. He liked that.
I did. I also, since we're on the page of lightening things up and stuff, there was news last night. The Premier League is no longer the Premier League.
Yes.
It
James
is
is very
now
excited.
The Barclays Premier League, which, if you've been a supporter of football for a while, the memories that comes with the Barclays Premier League, it just gives me goosebumps. I'm so excited. It's going to be great.
I just wanted to go full. Yes, because it started out as the Carling Premier League. The Barclays was it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are too young to remember, but the first Premier League highlights package used to come where they packaged all the games into a highlight thing. There was a theme song that went with it. No, even before that one.
Really?
Oh, you can't find it online. It's like dun 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 dun. Oh my god, it was the best, right? You're still watching these guys playing on muddy pitches, but they're trying to be all like NBA. That was the best. I just wish that they went back to that old logo, the mid-90s logo of the first Barclays Premier League. That'd be a great throwback.
Is that the one with the lion on the ball or no?
It's the lion, but specifically that, because I saw the new logo. It's got the lion, but it's like all like new CAD drawings. What do you call them, James? You know the stuff. It's like, right? But that was like done in MS Paint. It was the original Barclays Premier League logo. So well done to the Premier League. More money for them.
Yeah.
It's a 3-year contract that they've signed.
Oh, that means the Red Bank here is also going to get a bit of Tom.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, Manchester United did really well in the Barclays Premier League.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Come back.
Maybe it's time. Maybe
it's time, man.
We take Barclays Premier League.
Do you know what I miss from the Barclays Premier League is, well, many things, but one of the things is they used to do the intro videos where like the ball would travel through England and it would go through the teams and stuff.
Yes.
Those intro videos were so it was so good.
Yes. Oh God, we opened so many bank accounts.
Yes.
There is a Barclays affiliate bank in South Africa.
Yeah.
The Red Bank.
The Red Bank.
My God, we opened a lot of bank accounts. I got a calendar for opening one. And what was the other one I did? Oh, there was a thing that they did. They had the Premier League trophy here.
Yes.
And if you opened a bank account with them, you could have your photo taken with the Premier League trophy. They got me.
Oh, yeah. Hey, bro.
They got me.
I mean, come on, bro. I mean, they're legendary men who haven't been that close to that trophy. So, hey.
You know those trophies? I've had a photo taken with the Champions League trophy, the World Cup, and the proper.
Were you allowed to touch the Champions League?
You're not allowed touching any of them. You have to social distance from it. This is before social distance.
Yeah, no, I know the World Cup. I know the World Cup.
can't
Like
touch
I also took a photo of the World Cup. But I know the World Cup. The rule is you can't touch it unless you've won it or you're a statesman.
That's it.
So imagine like they were doing the draw once and David Beckham was near it. They're like, yeah, don't you want to touch it? He's like, can't do it. Haven't won it.
Oh, David Beckham. Give David Beckham the solution. David Beckham will solve everything. His solution to his problems is bring in Phil Neville.
He's also too busy kicking a painted soccer ball against a wall to make a Christmas tree.
He's always doing stuff like that.
Hey,
I don't
bro.
get the reference. Maybe when you come back, James can explain that.
I'll explain it.
We were serious now. Spoke about serious stuff, Senzo,
Yeah.
you know. Yo, that was serious. We got some tomfoolery come. It's a game called
Tomfoolery.
Pogba versus Drogba. I got to be honest, I've barely prepped. I can't remember the rules. It's going to be a mess. But we think it's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys.
It is the longest long lunch ever. If you are pretending to work right now,
On the 17th of December.
everyone knows. Everyone knows you're lying.
No, because the thing is, like, we can't really hide, like, because we're currently working right now. But, like, if you are supposed to send emails, I hope this email finds you well. Trust me, your emails aren't finding
well.
people well.
If you do not get an out-of-office reply right now, the person forgot to send it.
Honest to God.
Honest to God, they just forgot to send it. That's all.
If you have sent an email right now to people who are doing serious work or whatever, bro, the people are only going to read your emails on the 2nd of January. Because that's when most people go back on the 3rd.
I just saw an email. Somebody asking, should we hop on a call right now?
Hell
No.
No. Last thing I want is to see your face.
That would not happen on a normal Friday. Let alone
Now.
now.
On the 17th, on the 17th Saturday of December.
God help us all. Listen, we're having fun. This time of year is a time to play games. Now, the MKT show has been on quite a journey this year, right? We started off, James's little cameras, my first camera starter kit is how we first started filming the show. We were in the Cliff Central broadcast studios. It wasn't. We did our best. James did a fantastic job. Honestly, it's with what he had to work with and what we put out, the content and the show looked amazing. James, let's see you. Look at him. Look at that guy.
With his flat cap.
We did have a lot of late nights and afternoons troubleshooting many things, MKT and I.
Oh no, it was hilarious. The batteries would go flat. Remember the time the camera just fell over?
Are you serious?
The camera just fell over.
Just decided, nah.
We had some damn wonky tripods, bro.
No, they were terrible tripods. It's like if you got through a 2-hour show without the battery going flat on the camera.
Yeah.
You know you did well.
It was a good day.
Is that the camera you have in there that you use?
Yeah, so this one here is from when we were... It's my camera, so it's from the other studio.
Oh, God.
And then the other two we used are still at Cliff Central, yeah.
Look at us now, Mom. Yeah, those tripods were... Let's just put it this way. If you have a teenage daughter that wants to be... Or a tween daughter... That wants to be a social media influencer, but you know it's not going to last... And you go find the cheapest kind of tripod that you can find at the China Mall or something. This is what we're shooting on now. Listen, those things are good to hold up cell phones. Put on a proper Canon 5D camera.
Yeah, a camera that costs like almost 100K.
When the camera fell over, God, that was a fun day.
She was.
Look, Mom, we finally made it. But we played something back then. A game called Pogba versus Drogba. Okay? Simple game.
Okay.
Game of chance, 50-50. Senzo's never played it.
Okay.
Used to play myself, James, MKT. I was the host. We had amazing... We used to play the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire bed music under.
Dude, yes.
You know? We used to play the... It was epic. The game is simple. It's a simple game.
Okay.
I probably have too much of a smile in my voice. I need to like...
You sound too excited. I'm actually scared.
I need to get closer to the mic.
Okay.
The game is a simple game. It is a game of chance. 50-50 chance. I will name a goal, an opposition, perhaps a competition.
Okay.
And you need to tell me, was it scored by Pogba or by Drogba?
Okay.
5 questions. If you get it wrong, your opponent instantly gets the score.
Really?
Right?
So it's all or nothing.
Well, it's Pogba or Drogba. It's not that complicated. Now, I hold back certain facts because obviously if I say the year,
then kind of makes it obvious.
you're going to know who it is.
Yeah.
And Drogba scored a hell of a lot more goals than Pogba. I was hoping that playing this game 6 months later, Pogba would have scored more goals, but no.
Well.
If this game was called Dubai or Unai, then yes, then Pogba would have won.
Oh, wow.
Remember when the season first started and Man United fans thought, oh, Pogba's back and Pogba's the greatest thing ever?
Senzo gets in his field. Senzo's like my brother-in-law with Pogba. He's got so much belief that he will just one day after 6 years go against type.
And just decide to. Because,
I love the faith. I love it.
No, because the bastard gets you, must I tell you why? Because you play your first game against Leeds at home. And you think, 4 assists, man. The boy's back.
4 of 5 assists.
The boy's back, man. You know, he's doing it first game. And then you're just like, this guy. Like, please. Like Paulo, you said it nicely. For a grown man, I spend way too much time and way too many of my thoughts consumed by Pogba. I can't. I'm a grown ass man.
It's a grown ass man. You're a grown man.
I can't be thinking about Pogba this much. A guy that doesn't even know me from a bar of soap.
Ex-footballer, ex-Man United footballer Paul Pogba, but it does not change the game. It is called Pogba or Drogba. We don't have moody theme music, but we've got a great graphic. We'll throw it up on the screen for you to have a look at. If you're on the podcast, listen, I've got to tell you, imagine your first attempt at making a logo. That's what it looks like. This is the sort of logo you make with the free version of a graphics app,
yeah,
or a photo editing app. The game starts now. This game is called Pogba or Drogba. 50% chance. Senzo.
Who am I playing against, by the way?
James. You're playing against James.
Okay.
You're playing against James. Now, James has got the experience. You're a debutant.
Yeah, well, I've got nothing to do.
James is a grizzled old veteran.
It's true.
James overthinks it.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'll back myself, yeah.
Listen, there's no way. The tactics are all over the place. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about this goal. Scored by either Drogba
or Pogba.
It was against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-1 result. Mm-hmm. His team won 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
He scored a right-footed shot in the 80th minute.
Mm-hmm.
Was a goal against West Ham. Right-footed shot in the 80th minute, scored by Drogba or Pogba.
I'm trying to think. 3-1.
I don't want to put pressure on you.
No,
but if you get it wrong, James gets the point.
You said 3-1, right?
3-1.
Pogba. It was finesse as well. I remember the goal.
He even describes the goal. 1 point to James.
Huh.
It was scored by Didier Drogba. Go James.
Huh.
Scored by Didier Drogba.
So
what gets me is Senzo goes, yeah, it was even a finessed right-footed into the top corner.
No, it wasn't top corner. I didn't say top corner, but yeah, okay, wow.
No, he gets it. James, 1 point for doing nothing.
Yes, it's ruthless, Asha. Okay.
No, this game's a killer.
Okay, no, I like this game.
I saw MKT and James fist fight over this game. Fist fight. It's a true story. James, over to you. The goal was scored against Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham COVID Spur at this point in time. 39th minute goal. The opening goal. A free kick. Was it scored? Drogba or Pogba? James with 1 point. You can take a lead. Be 1 point away from winning. Drogba or Pogba? Spurs. Free kick.
You know what's funny is you said James overthinks it, and I was like, I'm gonna try and not overthink it this time, and now I am. It's comes naturally. I'm gonna go with. Did Drogba take many free kicks?
Drogba or Pogba?
You can't answer that.
50-50. I can tell you who it was. It was Spurs. It was a free kick.
I can tell you it was Spurs.
I'm gonna go with Drogba.
2-0 to James.
Yeah, because Pogba hardly has never scored a free kick for United. That's why.
It was the Carabao Cup final against Tottenham. Drogba. 2-0 to James. Senzo, this is for all the marbles.
Yeah.
All the marbles for Senzo. If you get this wrong, James wins. First playing between you two.
Sudden death. And I didn't even get anything on the board. Okay.
This is sudden death. Don't worry, you're new to the game. Maybe it's easy though. The opposition were Napoli.
Okay.
A free kick again. Now, remember what you said. Pogba hardly took free kicks. So are you creating doubts in your own mind?
Well, okay. Could have been. Okay, could have been.
But now you said Pogba hardly took free kicks.
Well, you said against Tottenham, but against Napoli could have been for Juventus. But
a 3-0 win for his team. He scored this free kick in the 80th minute. Drogba or Pogba, you get this wrong, you lose. You hand it over straight to James. Whitewash.
I'm going to say Paul Pogba.
The first one, you called it wrong. You called it Pogba. It was Drogba. James then comes back in, cup final. Drogba. 2-0 to James. This was for all of it. Everything was on the line. You said yourself, Pogba never took free kicks.
But he could have been a Juventus and different player, different guy.
Is Napoli. What makes you think this? What makes you think it was Pogba?
Juventus. And they were playing Napoli.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Locked in.
I'm not sure, but I'm trusting my gut. It's
50-50.
Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba, 2-1. It's getting tasty. It was Paul Pogba against Napoli. It was an easy one for you.
Yeah, because it was Juventus.
Italy, when you go Juventus, is an easy one. James, we're playing the game called Pogba or Drogba. It is the game of the ages, possibly the best game ever invented. All you have to do is say, was a goal scored by Pogba or Drogba? It's very easy. I give you the team name, I give you the goal. I'll never
Even
tell
give
you
us the time it was scored.
I'll tell you that. Thanks to transfermarket.co.za. I'm sure that's a local version of it, but that's where I get my stats. Don't at me. The opposition was Swansea. Swansea have had a weird time in the Premier League.
Oh, man.
Senzo.
Why can't I get this question?
15th minute, right-footed shot. The final score was 3-1. His team won. Was this goal scored by Pogba or Drogba? Against Swansea, Premier League. You could win it with this. You've gone Drogba twice. Drogba's been in your side. Oh, James is nervous. This is not great listening for if you're on the podcast. Those moments of silence we do apologize for, but we are still here. This is the greatest game, if I say so myself.
My hands are sweating.
You think this game's easy until you play.
Yeah, until you're in it.
Until you play.
And also when Paolo asks the questions, you're like, damn it, man. Like, what, like, because he makes you doubt yourself. You're like, no, man. I think I remember this goal, but I don't remember it.
Swansea.
Like I remember the phantom goal that Pogba scored against West Ham. That he finessed. But anyway, yeah.
James could win it or tie it all up and we go to sudden, absolute sudden death.
I'm going to go with Drogba.
Locked in?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm sweaty. And I'm excited. 2-2.
Oh,
we're going to sudden death.
It's the Pogba volley. I know which goal you're talking about.
Paul Pogba.
It's the Pogba volley against Swansea. I remember that goal.
He knows. He knows. Okay, this one's for all the marbles. All the marbles. Senzo, you can win on your debut. This will be an upset. This will be huge. James has got at least 4 games under his belt. Now, thinking about everything, thinking about your tactic, thinking about your Serie A tactic, maybe that helps you out. Maybe that helps you out. Maybe it doesn't. Because remember, AC Milan, Chelsea played a lot of games.
Against Serie A opposition.
And remember, you're just taking Drogba at face value of playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, he played for Marseille, played for Galatasaray, yeah.
Yeah, he played in a lot of different places. You don't know. This one's for all the money. All the money.
Gee whiz. So someone's going to be really happy or really sad at the end of this question.
Someone's going to be really happy or really sad. This goal against Roma. AS Roma.
Okay.
Now, of course, I'll take your tactic of saying, well, Pogba played Serie A. But there are lots of Champions League games. Drogba played Champions League for Marseille, a lot of teams.
Yeah.
It was a header. No, Drogba's headers. God, thing of beauty. That man headbutts a ball. He just header it.
Okay.
But that's not who I'm talking about. Or could I be? I don't know. I don't know. The goal was scored 75th minute at trouncing.
Okay.
5-2 game.
Okay.
5-2 game.
Okay.
A header against Roma.
75th minute.
75th minute. Was it scored by Drogba or Pogba? Pogba is the easy go-to because obviously he played in Serie A, but Drogba played a lot of Champions League games. Did they play Roma? Did he play Roma against Marseille, for Marseille?
5-2.
This is it. Senzo. The game ends now. Either Senzo takes the victory or hands it to James. 5-2 header. Roma. 75th minute.
I'm going to hate myself for this. But I'm going to go Pogba.
This guy goes... Listen, it's called Drogba or Pogba. You just keep going Pogba. It's not called Pogba.
I'm going to go Pogba.
Gonna go Pogba. Why? Explain your thinking.
5-2. I mean, Juve were cooking then. And I don't remember a 5-2 Chelsea or Marseille against Roma, 75th minute.
James, what would you have gone for?
And also, Pogba was a very different player.
James, what would you have gone for?
Sure. I probably actually would have gone for Pogba.
Even with the header? Even it's a header?
Oh, no, wait, I forgot about the header.
He's a tall guy. Pogba's a tall guy.
Senzo is firm.
Well,
okay. Senzo.
Mm-hmm.
And you think it was for Juventus?
Mm-hmm.
And he was cooking back then?
Mm-hmm.
The back then was just the end of last season, earlier this year. Senzo wins his inaugural appearance in Pogba versus Drogba. Thank God we didn't say when it was. Last season semi-final, Manchester United Europa League. Manchester United beat Roma 6-2 on aggregate. Pogba getting the header, but it matters not. Well done, Senzo. James, give him a clap. There you go. There you go.
Finally, Pogba came through for me.
Finally, the rookie scoring on his debut. Senzo, 3-2 win. Pogba versus
Come from
Drogba.
behind.
Shh.
Come from behind.
That was great. It was all there. Swings. What a game. James's palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. It's all happening here on the MKT show. A bit of fun. Play it this Christmas with your friends. Don't play Cards Against Humanity.
Pogba versus Drogba.
Play Pogba versus Drogba. Senzo, as a debutant, greatest game ever?
Thank you. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant because now you tend to doubt yourself because you go through all the games that you've watched and you're like, if I didn't see it, it was probably because I don't really watch Serie A or I don't really watch Galatasaray. Games in the Champions League.
There's so many. Listen, I mean, there's international games. I could throw in internationals.
Yes.
I could throw in internationals.
Yes.
James knows. James got thrown by, I think the most epic game was, there was a game against Austria.
yes.
That it's 3-0, and James, it's just had to be France. But there was a weird little tournament that Ivory Coast played in before a World Cup or something.
Oh, snap.
It just threw it. So, listen, I thought that game would get easier. Obviously, Drogba scored a hell of a lot more goals than Pogba. I thought over time Pogba would start going up, but he is an ex-Manchester United footballer. That is Drogba versus Pogba. James, we've got to get some music for that segment.
Honestly.
Get some
tense music.
I don't think we can use Who Wants to Be a Millionaire anymore.
No.
But I'll make a plan.
Yeah, because then we'll make the owners of that song millionaires.
It's true.
In rights. Because I think it's going to be popular. I think people are going to want it back.
I know, I definitely want it back.
Oh, great game. James, do we have time to go into Paula's Weird World of Football?
We have about 7-8 minutes.
I can do it.
No pressure.
Paula's Weird World of Football. Is a graphic ready or are we going bareback?
No, there is a graphic.
What are you laughing at? It's a horse riding term.
Yeah, I know that.
It's horse
This
riding.
means we're not going with a saddle.
Exactly.
Wow.
So listen, we don't know if there's a graphic or not. We are pre-recording this, so there may be a graphic or not. Senzo, this is Paula's Weird World of Football La Liga edition, and we're doing it for our friends at La Liga Africa, because what we said is that a lot of people don't have a connection with a Spanish team, right? You support Real, you support Barca, but there's so many more teams that we thought we were
I
going to
support Valencia.
You support Valencia. Well done to you. That is quite rare, but most people sit in one of the camps of the other two. But there is so much rich tapestry. Atletico Madrid, maybe support Atletico.
Yeah.
There is so much tapestry in the Spanish teams, and we every week get into some of the other teams you may not know. 2 weeks ago, we spoke about Atletico Bilbao and the All Basque policy,
Yes.
right? About how they only play players born in that region. And last week we did Denilson when Real Betis broke the world transfer record for Denilson. Today we're going to speak about a club that we're very familiar with this season. Oh, God, this year. Glad to see the back of them. UEFA loved the games against them. They even tried to put in another one. Villarreal.
The Yellow Submarine.
Manchester United fans, we do not want to see them ever again, even though UEFA went, hey, listen, we loved your games. Here's another one, by the way. But of course, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Villarreal. Villarreal is a tiny football club that is really the little club that couldn't. They come from a city, their town inhabitants, 50,000 people in their town.
What?
The stadium takes 25,000 people.
That's
So
half the town can fit into the
literally
stadium.
on match days, half the town is empty because people are at
Great time to commit crime.
Great time to commit crime. You got a 1 in 25,000 chance of getting caught, though. Do you like those odds? The stadium is called La Ceramica, and I'll explain the reasoning why. And Senzo quite rightly says they are the yellow submarine. Too big to go down, but they did go down.
Too big to go down.
Outside the stadium still sits to this day this little outhouse, right? Quite small, 6 by 4 meters. And it's currently a storeroom. And it's a remnant of bypass days. But the club still keeps that there because it reminds them of how small they was, because that was the change room. They currently store kits and extra balls there, but that was the original stadium, the change room, when the club first started. Like the owners currently say, when they arrived, they just had a typewriter. Now they have a staff of 500 people, regularly compete well in the La Liga as well as the Champions League and Europa League. Of course, they won the Europa League last season, beating out Manchester United. Like I said, the town only has 50,000 inhabitants, 1 hotel in the whole town.
Really?
And they've always been a small, poor club, really battling above their
Yeah,
size.
punching above the weight, yeah.
Most of the time spent in the 2nd and 3rd division, and they were about to go out of business. And the owner then, who was a former player and ran the club, he couldn't put any more money in. He said, listen, we're either going to go to the wall. I'm ill. I don't have much long left. He assigned somebody to go find a buyer. Okay. So an employee of theirs or someone linked to the club used to work for Pirelli and Goodyear. So maybe Flip working for Michelin is the next one. But the guy worked for Pirelli and Goodyear. Goes out and speaks to the owner. The biggest business in the town is a big ceramics business.
Sure.
Tiles, makes it for the whole of Spain, the whole of Europe, exports to the whole world. Massive, massive business based in there. And they go to the owner of this. He also owns a supermarket chain within the family.
So he's not doing too badly.
Not doing too badly. They were involved in the Valencia basketball club.
Okay.
Right? You know, in Spain, it's not just football. They have multiple sports.
Yeah.
They owned and ran the Valencia basketball club. And this guy goes and says, look, the club's for sale. It's going to go to the wall. We're going to lose football altogether. We want to come to you. You are a fan. Can you help us out? His response goes, how much are your debts? And they say, look, it's about 90 million. You got 120 million. Let's go. I'm taking over Villarreal.
Okay.
The guy's name was Fernando Ruig. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay. Fernando R-O-I-G. Took over. He's the owner of Villarreal. Still runs and owns them to this day.
Sure. And
has seen Villarreal rise to the peak of the European game.
Yeah.
So the first time, actually, that he put in 180 million, not 120.
Doubled it.
They needed 90. He put in 180. Said, let's go.
Double
Signed the deal in a bar. Place called Beta Bar. Great. Love that story. So, of course, the first year, they put in the money. The club got promoted. They ended up in the playoffs, get promoted. First day in La Liga, they play Barcelona, beat them.
So nice.
Football's easy.
Football's
easy.
But who it is?
They get relegated. That same season. They said it was too early to go up.
Yeah.
Right. They got through the playoffs, lucked out, get in La Liga, completely trounced, bad season. They went back down again, but immediately go back up. And now they're ready to establish themselves in La Liga. Santi Cazorla came out of the academy.
Yes.
Great player. Let's not forget. Dead ringer for my brother-in-law.
Really?
True as God, my brother-in-law looks exactly like Santi Cazorla.
That's funny.
No jokes.
That's
True story.
Funny.
True story. So their second stint back in La Liga, now they're ready. They got the infrastructure, and they made quite a habit of signing players from Argentina. The biggest score they get, Riquelme.
Juan Román Riquelme.
Not directly. He went to Barcelona, flopped, didn't quite work out.
But he had a good time with Villarreal.
Oh my God, did he not have a good time? There was that run to the Champions League semi-final that they lost.
Just off a last-minute penalty. They missed
from Riquelme.
Yeah.
From Riquelme. How could that have changed them? Stratospheric. You supported Valencia, and around the same time, Valencia were also thereabouts, right? So how it could have changed this tiny little club going into a Champions League final? What could it have done for them? Over the years, they've signed players like Martin Palermo, another Argentinian great striker. Robert Pires played for them for a bit after he left Arsenal. Diego Godin.
Yes.
Marcos Senna.
Yes.
Right, that was the guy.
Yes.
That was the guy.
Spain Euro 2008, he's the guy there.
You know, he doesn't get enough credit for the role he played in that 2008 Spain team. I think it went on, we spoke about the Barcelona players.
Yeah.
But Marcus Senna,
solid.
Without him, they don't win it.
It's under Aragonés, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Spain don't win that Euro without him.
Yeah.
Villarreal don't have that success.
Yes.
Without him. We spoke about Riquelme. I mean, let's just talk about Riquelme for a second.
Riquelme, yes. Technically.
What a player.
She was a...
Another player that was called the next Maradona. Played number 10 at Boca Juniors.
Yeah, but also different styles of football though as well. But he was... Yeah.
He was 10 steps ahead of everyone on the football field.
Yes.
He didn't have to be quick.
Yeah.
One-on-one, tight situations, that left foot of his. God, forget about it. That thing was like... thing was a laser. At the same time, they sign a player. Like, I'm so upset that it never worked out for him at Manchester United. Diego Forlan.
Yes. Oh, yes.
God, what a weapon he became. What a weapon Forlan came. Manchester United obviously signed him. The whole story about Manchester United is Middlesbrough brought Forlan over to England for a trial. Ferguson's brother met him at the airport and took him down to Manchester United. It just didn't work. Listen, he has understudy too. Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Young Wayne Rooney was there. Young Ronaldo was there. What you going to do? Took him time to... He scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, he scored one against Liverpool at Anfield.
James, your thoughts on Diego Forlan? Made the Scousers cry? Oh, James is busy switching off the air conditioning. We'll come to him. Look at him. He's crying in the background there.
We're having issues. We couldn't turn the aircon off.
We've had the same in here before. I empathize.
Diego the Vuvuzela silencer Forlan.
Diego Forlan. I think he was very much before my time. Like, I think I supported Liverpool in football, but I wasn't like invested when he was a United player.
Did you see what he did at the World Cup 2010?
I did see what he did.
So let's get into that because Diego Forlan, of course, had a great time at Villarreal.
Yeah.
Scored all the goals, gets a big transfer to Atletico Madrid, carries on. Went to Inter Milan, carries on.
Yeah.
But then, of course, comes to South Africa
and
with Uruguay. My God.
Just scoring all the goals.
Top goal scorer in the tournament, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He won goal of the tournament.
Yeah. He figured out how to... He mastered that ball because everybody was crying that this ball's too light and everything. He mastered it.
Correct.
We used to call him the Vuvuzela silencer.
He had a great time at Villarreal. Yeah. Funny story in Manchester United when Villarreal signed him from Manchester United, he went with complete blessings from Manchester United. The owner of Villarreal said at the time, try to include a match between Manchester United and Villarreal. Said as part of it, we'll pay you to come here to have a match. Manchester United said, no, we don't have the time. We're busy. Said, don't worry. You'll come here for free one day and we won't have to pay you. Of course they did, and Villarreal beat them. In that year, remember, Villarreal Benfica went through that year when Manchester United did not go through. They are the Manchester United, what are they? They haunt Manchester United.
Yeah, it's our bogey team.
Listen, if you're looking for a team to support in La Liga, Villarreal, they won 7-1 in the Cup. They're 13th in the table this weekend playing Real Sociedad, who are having a bit of a dip. I think they're leveling out after a great season. Juventus in the Champions League eventually. They got Juventus after Manchester United. Got players. Pau Torres, that's the next guy.
Pau Torres is the man.
That's the next guy. He stayed this season. Gerard Moreno. Pau Torres stayed because he wanted to play Champions League with Villarreal. Local boy, came through the academy. He turned down pretty much every big club in Europe to play Champions League with them. He gets to play against Juventus. Danjuma.
Oh, Danjuma, yes.
They're saying this guy's a replacement for Sadio Mane. That's the guy. He tore Dallo to pieces.
2 pieces.
Oh my God.
Ate him for breakfast, lunch and supper.
But they say this guy's a replacement for Sadio Mane and Samuel Chukwueze.
And Paco Alcacer's there.
Forget about it. Because they've had huge injuries. That's probably where they're sitting, where they are, 13th in the league. Unai Emery, the manager of their team.
Solid squad.
Solid team. Always do well.
Yeah.
And listen, this is 50,000 people. 50,000 people in this town. They're doing well.
Punching above their weight, and they're not making up numbers. If you play Villarreal, you thinking twice. You're like, damn it, man.
No, you got that stadium, that one stand that's sort of got that little bit of a wall.
And it's like yellow. And
just yellow.
Gee whiz.
Not an easy place to go. This is Paulo's Weird World of Football La Liga edition. If you're looking for a team to support in La Liga, go for Villarreal. Great kits. Yellow.
Yeah, just yellow.
Just yellow.
So think of the Australian cricket team, but they play soccer.
And we don't hate them.
Exactly. Well, as a United fans, we do.
James, are we wrapping up the show? Is that our closing down music? Are we done for the day? No, we're not. Still got some more to go.
We do. We've got we have a break now, and then we have one more sort of 20-minute segment.
Wow. I still got to carry on for another 20. You see what I try to do there? I try to December the whole show. I try to December the whole show.
Try to back out early. That's not how this works.
I'm not paying any attention. My brain is out of office.
It's right, but it was a public holiday yesterday.
Forget about it. This is the PTB takeover of the MKT show. There's still more coming up. We've still got some more. I'm trying to be professional. I'm not even wearing pants under this table. I kind of felt bad. I felt bad that I'm going like, if you are reading this email, just know that I'm out of office and I'm going to screw you out of the last 20 minutes of the show. But actually, I don't feel bad because you've done a lot of good work, Senzo.
Yeah. James, do you know what I'd say? I'd actually do like a Drake album. If you're reading this, it's too late.
True story.
In this, it's too late. I'm already halfway to Cape Town on my.
No, I'm halfway too drunk.
No, it's been, but we've done work. We did a fantastic Friday 5.
One for the books.
A fantastic Friday 5. Spoke about Bjorn Bjorg, we spoke about Anna Kournikova without being pigs.
Right?
Hey?
Without being?
Pigs.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah,
We spoke about her career, actually.
We spoke about her career. We acknowledged that she is being genetically blessed, right?
Yeah, we weren't crass about it.
Oh my God, our conversation about postponed games, player vaccinations, that's real journalism.
Actually,
Human rights.
You're going to hear that on Robert Morawa Sports, that conversation. That's how good it was.
Drogba versus Pogba.
Oh, fun. A game for the
You
kiddies.
see, we weren't just mucking about.
No.
This was a sports show today.
I mean, Pogba, Drogba, a little bit of mucking about, but
No, but it's sports-related
It's variety.
content.
It's variety. And then we had testicular injuries.
And
And then big lols with the guys in the control room. Just funny jokes. They were having technical guy jokes. You love it.
yeah,
You love the technical guy jokes.
look at James. James is dead.
it was just what had happened during the break was just hilarious, and it's hard to explain. You have to be there.
No, you have to be a technical person. Listen, we don't know. You got to know how with cables go in, and those guys make the show work. We're just
talking heads.
We're just idiots in the front, and we're doing this without any access to the internet. It's like doing an internet show in the 90s. It's fantastic. So
We may be in North Korea. We may be doing the show from North Korea.
Oh, you don't want to be. Do you want to make North Korea jokes?
I saw, speaking of North Korea, right? Okay. I saw the other day these Americans that had gone to North Korea to compete in some, I don't know what they were competing in, but they were in the stadium in North Korea. And like they had their phones and they were like recording stuff. I don't know what they were doing there, but I thought you couldn't go there.
Is it Kim Jong-il? Kim Jong-il. He's softening, hey? He's kind of like
he's
backing down.
No, because Dennis Rodman went to go visit him.
Oh no, it's years later.
Is he the one that met Donald Trump
Yes.
Yes.
in the garden? What do you think they spoke about?
Whose missile can go the longest?
killing the guys from South Park.
Yeah.
Listen, how do we take them out? I've had enough. They make too much fun of me and my family. Me too. I get it. Kill them.
My big button is bigger than your red button.
Yeah.
Imagine comparing nuclear weapons.
Yeah. How far does yours go? Let's just see. Just
pew.
Destroys New Zealand.
Oops.
no. Who's utterly useless and like can go?
Oh, be careful where you're going.
Actually,
We've gotten through a whole year without being cancelled, without an international incident.
That's why I can't think of anybody, because everybody's got their place.
We push it. Everyone's got their place. That's what makes the world so rich.
Nice way to bring it back.
Hey?
Senzo. Nice.
You see, that's why even if his mother had found his prophylactics in his cupboard, he'd talk his way out of it. He'd completely talk his way out of it.
I could be a politician. Not that I want to be, but...
James is angry.
Am I?
James is angry about FIFA Pro.
FIFA Pro, yeah.
I'm livid
No, but
about
it's a travesty.
FIFA Pro.
It's a travesty.
Are we getting all in our feels about player awards again?
No, but listen to the people in the FIFA Pro. The list came out for.
Okay, what's FIFA Pro?
So it's the
Explain
nominees
now.
of... So what happens that at the FIFA Best Awards, they have a World 11.
So what did Messi just win now?
He won Ballon d'Or. Totally different thing. They're not
How
merged.
confusing is that? It's kind of like having the American Music Awards and the Grammys,
Yeah.
right? It's like, what's the point of that? AMAs and the Grammys. So he won the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or. Because they split from FIFA, right?
Right.
Now they're their own award.
Because that's by France Football Magazine.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Now
Messi won
FIFA
that.
have their own the Best Awards.
The Best Awards, yeah.
Right.
So, and within...
And that's announced soon.
January.
January.
Yeah,
Correct.
January. And then now there's FIFA Pro. So they take 23 players, they nominate them, and then from that they
Who's
get...
they? FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA.
Right.
And from that they get a World 11. Right. So now the nominees came out for FIFA Pro.
So this is the 23.
Yeah, the 23. Okay.
So let's go through them.
Okay, so in no particular order, because they've got a list of... I'm just going to read them based on how they...
James, do you want to make like an appropriate sound after each player's name? So like, give me a sound for a player you think belongs there, and give me a sound for a player that doesn't belong there.
Could I have some sound suggestions?
So I think like, if it's a player that you think belong there, go, and if a player that doesn't belong there, go,
This is gonna be awesome.
Or do you want me to do it? You can do it, Jay.
Paolo, you do the nose. No, wait, that wouldn't make sense.
You can, or James, you can give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
But that doesn't work in audio. That's
In
why
audio,
the
yeah.
sound works on everything.
Right.
So I think do it like this. We'll start with, so read a player and then we'll go concurrently. Okay, we'll take one each, right? So so those are the sounds.
Okay.
Or,
Oh wow. This
Both
is good.
of them, neither of them sound negative or positive, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
So we're going to go like...
Yay! Oh boo!
Okay, I think that probably works better, but who doesn't want to hear 11 times?
Hell.
But that probably works better. So James will start, I'll follow up, and we'll just go one on one.
Okay, cool.
What sounds did we agree on now?
Well, we're going yeah and boo.
Okay.
Okay. Although I prefer mine.
Okay, so number 1, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, boys. Yes. 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 I know I broke the rules, but I got excited.
Because he's a Scarza. Number 2, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Number 3, Neymar.
Oh, that's a medium one. We didn't anticipate for a medium, so that's indecisive. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Number 4, Eduardo Mendy. Number 5, Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah.
Number 6, Kylian Mbappe.
I don't even know where we are anymore.
No ways. No ways. Paulo, no ways.
I don't even know where we are anymore. We just finished the list.
Okay, then there's Robert Lewandowski. Then there's N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, Erling Haaland, Lionel Messi, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Dani Alves.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Ruben Diaz, Leonardo Bonucci, Jordi Alba, Kevin De Bruyne, David Alaba, Frankie De Jong, Sergio Busquets, Bruno Fernandes, Alisson Becker, and Karim Benzema.
Do you see why I'm outraged now?
No,
No Mo Salah.
Senzo is doing his best to try to do like a professional piece here. Can you imagine the sounds that would have been coming out of us by the time we got to the end of that?
Imagine, dude.
So I can understand James's outrage because there's no Jordan Henderson in there.
No. Well,
No, Geordie.
yes. Okay, and no. Okay, so one of the biggest outrages is that Neymar is there,
Danny Alves.
but Mo Salah isn't. Neymar,
Danny
but
Alves.
Mo Salah.
Is there any criteria on what they put these players for, or it's just vibes? It's just
I don't know. I'd have to research
I'm gonna
that.
research it real quick.
Okay, yeah.
And Salah's not in there, and Salah also was quite low down on the Ballon d'Or as well voting. He was quite a way down. You know, these types of awards, because that's also like a Premier League 11 versus a World 11, right? I think it's exactly down the middle.
Yeah, but as well,
probably exactly
there are
down
too
the
many
middle.
Barca players here.
Yeah, way too many. Listen, Danny Alves, I mean,
There are 4 Barca players. 4.
are you including Danny Alves in that?
Yeah.
4 Barca players, only 3 of them wear shoes. Danny Alves, you know what? In this calendar year, he broke the record for the most decorated player, and he did do good things while playing in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay, and he did win the gold medal with Brazil.
Yes.
So I think, taking away the Eurocentric approach, I don't think he's a bad call in there. It's obviously like a lifetime achievement kind of shout.
Would you put Jorginho in there?
Yeah, Jorginho won the Champions League and
Oh,
the
Euro,
And the Euro. I don't get caught up in MKT's hate of Jorginho. And listen, he's very lucky today because I think we've not even approached how rubbish Chelsea are. And James didn't even make a little viral video where I got a few weeks ago, I said I'm not getting my feels about Chelsea because I just feel they're a little off.
Oh, I should have, huh?
Yeah, where I got it right. It's not often.
What Neymar's doing on this list, I don't know. Neymar hasn't done anything.
But you see, that's 100% vibe. So Jorginho, listen, you're not a starter for Chelsea, European champions. You're not a starter for Italy, European champions, if you're not a good player, right? And I know he's not MKT's favorite player, but we've all got that guy on our team that we hate. Neymar, quite right. Why is Neymar in there and Salah not in? There's way too many goalkeepers, right?
There are 3.
Yeah.
So with the goalkeepers thing also, okay, so as a Liverpool fan, yes, I do believe Alisson is a very good goalkeeper, right? But I feel like in the last calendar year, because he was injured, first of all, but also outside of that, in the last calendar year, there's been goalkeepers that have played a lot better than he has.
Eduardo Mendy.
No, but I mean, I'm saying there's been goalkeepers that aren't on the list that have played better than Alisson has, but he's on the list.
James, what if I throw something at you, right?
Do I have a chance to catch it?
Luckily, there's a glass screen between us.
True.
Oh my
Right.
God.
It's true.
If I want to, the only sort of level I look for in there is go, okay, what did these players win, right?
Okay.
What were they winning for their clubs and their international teams at all levels? Salah didn't win anything, right? He didn't win anything
it
for
called?
Liverpool or
Golden
Egypt
Boots.
in the past year. Let's take a club trophy.
Okay.
Do you not think that should be some criteria? Did you pick up a trophy? Okay, I know Bruno Fernandes was also in there, didn't win anything.
Half these players didn't win anything, though.
Mbappe, Neymar.
Haaland. I don't think Haaland won
Haaland
anything.
didn't win anything.
Okay, Haaland didn't win, but so I mean maybe that's a criteria. I mean, because Salah and Liverpool had a stinker of a season.
But if we did it that way, wouldn't there be, like, let's use this past season, the one that's just finished as an example, right? So Chelsea won the Champions League.
Yes.
City won the Premier League.
Yes.
And got Champions League final.
And got Champions League final, right? So if you're taking it by trophies, whether it's domestic or sort of European, you're gonna have a list of literally just Chelsea City players. When there has been other players that have been
they're Inter
scoring
players as well.
goals, like Erling Haaland, Mo Salah, and helping their team.
There's not one player that plays for Atletico Madrid here.
Okay, good point. So, I mean, I think the thing is, there's always comes this conversation about individual awards, right? So people go, well, it's a team sport. Why are you having individual awards? Then to maybe balance it out, you're going, well, did they win stuff for their teams and for their clubs? So if you did, then that sort of balances it out. Okay, you got your outliers like Haaland, and then there's no Atletico players. Is it just a big marketing circle jerk?
Yes, of course it is.
We all know it is.
I mean, that's like, I'm pretty sure it's half of the reason why, like, Mbappe's on this list. Like, you can't leave
Oh,
him
Mbappe did score 41 goals in a season.
Yeah, I know. He's good. He's very good. I'm just saying it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that he's French and the poster boy for, like, everything at the moment.
But Neymar, like, what's Neymar doing here?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, look at that. This is a teaching moment. Senzo and James can actually agree on something.
It happened on my watch.
Look at that, huh?
I just want everyone to know it happened on my watch.
Because, like...
What a show we've had today.
Damn.
What a show, guys. World
Damn.
peace. We achieved world peace.
What's
as well.
Frankie de Jong doing here?
That's what I was wondering.
The vibes.
Pops.
So, no, it is a mess. I hate these awards because it's so unimaginative. It's always the same players.
Well, some
I'm
players
surprised
do.
Is Modric on there?
No.
Okay, I'm surprised he's not.
Sergio Busquets?
He's there.
No,
Yes.
but I'm also saying, why?
He had a great Euro.
Jordi Alba.
No, but Busquets had a fantastic...
No, he did have a great
And
Euro.
so did Jordi Alba.
Okay.
Busquets missed the beginning of the Euro because of COVID, and he came back and he looked like his old self.
Yeah,
Young
he
team, he
bo-
led them. Yeah, Jordi Alba's a weird one. Even Bruno Fernandes, I mean... No, Bruno Fernandes did well in the... I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't like these... I just don't like these things.
David Alaba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Won the treble.
won the treble with Bayern. I don't know. I'm just one of the... You know what? It's one of those that if your favorite player is in it, it's
You're
great.
okay.
If he's not, like James, thinks it's a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And I'm even angry that there are Liverpool players in it. So,
No, my guy's there, so Ronaldo's there, so it's...
The biggest thing, it means an unnecessary trip to Zurich, where they're going to host these awards.
probably there.
Probably Zurich. It's an unnecessary trip, unnecessary event, no social distancing. There's another variant around. Football, stop being so damned irresponsible.
Yeah, but they won't cancel these awards. But they'll just happen to cancel the Ballon d'Or that Lewandowski was supposed to win. Lovely.
This guy. Bitter. Bitter. We had birthday parties cancelled. People had 40ths cancelled.
People had weddings cancelled.
I care little for Robert Lewandowski. Grow up. Stop whinging about it. He's such a little crybaby. He is.
Actually, looks sour. Yes.
Oh, and he's making little comments on social media. It's not a good look on you. Just take it. Take your goals. You're on. He's on course to break Gerd Muller's
All time.
all time.
He broke last season's record.
And before, I mean, what do they call the Bundesliga halfway champions? Geinshide. Oh, it's crazy because they're going to be the winter one. He's going to break it before the end of the season. Before they're even like 20 games in. It's sick, man. It's disgusting. You want to talk about Farmers League? No, I hate the Farmers League comment. Listen, it's been a great show. Thanks for joining us. We know it is hard work this time of year. If you haven't done it, out of office, thank you for your email. I currently have 0 Fs to give. In January, I may have some new Fs someone gave me over Christmas. I may give you Fs then. Fs are finished. It is December. It is 17th of that December. It is the 17th day.
Saturday. 17th Saturday.
17th Saturday. It is Festivus for the rest of us.
That's brilliant.
This has been the PTP show. Thank you to my awesome team in the background. I can't do this without those guys. They're always in my ear shouting at me, making sure there are no more testicular injuries. You don't even want to know what's that about. Find us on all the socials. We are the MKT Show. Thank you for joining us. It was a good show.
It was a great
It was
show.
a good show, guys. Right here.